Hi, George here, and I wanted to show you why you still need a good digital editing program. This is Photoshop Elements, but this discussion goes for any good digital editing program. And I've been comparing standard digital editing to AI. Now, here's a project I did several years ago. It's pretty straightforward. Background is from one picture, girls from another picture, elephant is from a third picture. And there's a lot of adjustments to get the exact look that I want. Now, what I did was I went over to ChatGPT and I described what I wanted. Let me bring that up. In this right here, I uploaded the 3 basic images, and then I did a description of what I want on those images, and ChatGPT actually did a pretty fair job of this. Let me bring that back up over here, and it's right here. So it has the girl, it has the elephant, it has the shadows on the elephant from the tree, but it's not as nice of a picture. And there are 2 problems here. The first one is that ChatGPT, like most AI, is going to try to look at the image and notice what it thinks is the right perspective for the image. It tries to make it look very natural and lifelike, in which case this is pretty good. But for a nice art piece, that's not what you want. You want to have things pushed so they're more artistic, which is what I did here. Now, on the plus side of ChatGPT, let me show you one thing here with the girl image, and that's this bush right here and the foot right down below there. Notice that we have no front to the shoe, and this requires some really fancy work in here to get rid of this bit of a bush in here, clone stamping, some painting and so forth to make that look smooth again. ChatGPT handled that and this with no problem at all. AI is very good at things like that. It gave me a new front of the shoe in here, and it repaired that back part of the girl's leg without any issues at all. Did a reasonably good job on the color matching here with the girl, but the elephant isn't pushed far enough to be interesting. It fits, but it's not interesting. I also said that the elephant was in front of the tree, and I was thinking over here, but ChatGPT interpreted that as in behind this direction, left to right, instead of into the picture. So according to my instructions, that's also a correct choice. Now, problems in here with that. It did a good job on adding leaf shadows, but it's the wrong leaves for this tree. These are very small leaves. These are very big leaves on the shadow. It didn't get that one correct. Of course, in my version, my shadows match exactly because I took some of the tree leaves up here and used those to create a shadow over there. Now, I really pushed the color contrast on the elephant to really exaggerate that. And I think, again, it's more interesting. I went a lot more towards the purple on the face and more towards the blue in the back end here. And I put them right on a direct line, which makes this a funnier image. So he's definitely following the girl instead of being kind of in the same area as the girl. But the real difference here, and you can't see that on this is what I got back from ChatGPT. And notice that this is on one layer over here. If I wanted to move the elephant over here, I'd have to ask ChatGPT to redo the picture and put the elephant over here. If I wanted it a little lower in the picture, I'd have to ask that again to move it a little bit lower in the picture or move it a little bit left to right. If I wanted to ask it to adjust the contrast, make the colors on the elephant more saturated, that's another request. And each time I'm asking it, like an art director, make this adjustment or make that adjustment. That's kind of how you work with any of these AI programs. You act like an art director, explain what you want, and then when you don't get exactly what you want, you go back and you explain the changes that you want, and you give it back to the artist. In this case, it's the AI program. Whereas over here with traditional digital editing, and this is the main difference, everything here is on layers, which means that all of these different parts can be individually edited and adjusted. For instance, if I wanted to move the elephant, I'll just take the elephant group right here, and I can move the elephant around to exactly where I want, and I can just really carefully tweak that to get just exactly the right position. You can't do that with AI. You can maybe get close by doing a lot of tries at it, but you can't come in here and do an exact placement like that. Also, the colors in here, these are handled, as you can see over here, by a set of adjustment layers. Here's the adjustment layer that has the color on it, right there going from a kind of a yellow pink to a blue. If I wanted to adjust the actual colors in here on that gradient, I'll just double click on the gradient. Here's my gradient, click on that. I can now come in here and adjust the colors any way I want and get them exactly where I want to have those colors. You can't do that with an AI program. You don't have that level of control. If I wanted to adjust the values in here, I just double click on my levels adjustment, and I can come in here and move my controls around and get exactly the level that I want. I can even just type this in. In this case, it's 0.91 was what I was using. Again, you don't have this level of control with an AI program. So for now, you still need a good digital editing program to have this level of control on your images so you can get them exactly the way that you want them. So right now, I think of AI as being a great way to do some of the work. For instance, we could use AI to remove the background and clean up these edges in here and fix the shoe. Do that as one AI prompt. You can then take that image and put it into your digital editing program. You can use AI to take your elephant, remove the background, flip the elephant, so it takes away a lot of that busy work. And once you have that, again, put that into your digital editing program. Over here on the tree, something which I didn't do this in my test, but I took out the bench. That's a perfect job for AI, just to remove that bench. So we can use AI now as a great tool, as part of the creative process to speed things up, but it's not going to be replacing all of the control that we have over here with our images, allowing us to fine-tune things, get them exactly where we want. If you want to learn a lot more about how to use these kinds of controls over here, I have a complete training course for Photoshop Elements. I'll put a link for that at the top of the description. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. Also hit that thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you next time.